What's up, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of Deep Thoughts. Hi. It's been a couple months, as it always is with me. But I keep coming back to it. Keep doing the casting of the pod, podding the cast. You gotta pod the cast. You gotta cast your pods. Every once in a while. That sounded a lot funnier when I was saying it in my head earlier. Oh boy. Yeah, getting around to it. Getting around to another episode here. The Night Vibes. September 23rd, 2022. I don't know why I looked at my computer for the year. 9:43 p.m. Oh, man. I'm staying up late. I'm partying. It's Friday night. Yes. No work tomorrow. Woo! No school. Woo! No work. Saturday tomorrow. Obviously, it's Friday. This is not... I need to... shake off the rust. Oh well, who cares? Just me talking to myself. That's the best. That's the very best. Yeah. So, no work tomorrow. That's good. Going to Omaha, Nebraska. Yeah. Going to the Henry Dorley Zoo. I was about to say museum. I think that's what it's called. One of the very best zoos. One of the best zoos I've ever been to. Still working on my Trump. I can't do it. I'm not very good at it. I'm not good at impressions, though, at all. Some people just nail impressions. Not me. Cannot do impressions. Going to the zoo tomorrow. My work was giving out tickets. So, get to take the wife and the kid to one of the best zoos I've ever been to. It's up there. It might be the best. It might be my favorite. Been there at least twice. Last time I went was 9 years ago on my 20th birthday. And it was a hoot. It was fun. Being 20 was fun. Oh, man. When I went, they had just added a dinosaur exhibit. And I remember it was me and my wife, then girlfriend. Not yet fiance. No, not yet. And I remember my mom and my dad being there too, and they got tuckered out after about an hour or two, and I was still wanting to go, baby. I still wanted to go hit that dinosaur exhibit, and me and my lady, we went another almost like, I don't know, it felt like 2 hours. Like, yeah, my parents went back to the car. They weren't feeling so good, I guess. Old people. No, just kidding. I'm just kidding. But I was feeling good that day, dude. Man, I was feeling like young and spry, and I was like, I'm not done yet. I want to do this whole zoo, man. I want to see this dinosaur exhibit. And so we did end on the dinosaur exhibit, and it was very fun. It was a fun time. It was a good birthday. And it'll be fun to go back. Other zoos that I really like. Why not? Talk about zoos. Riveting stuff. I went to the San Antonio Zoo when I was a child, and I don't remember it. The Kansas City Zoo is actually pretty decent. The St. Louis Zoo's up there. That's a really good zoo. I remember seeing some awesome silverbacks there. I remember one time going there, because I think I've been there twice too, maybe. But I think the last time I went there, and it was a rainy day, and we had to go inside to the gorilla area and hide out there because it was raining really bad. And there was one silverback gorilla. I think it was a silverback. A gorilla anyways, which are my second favorite animal. I love me some gorillas. Cheetahs, number one for me. Always have been. I love cheetahs. They're so fast. And one of the gorillas just was chilling against the glass with his back against the glass, just chilling. And I remember sitting down, like, on the other side of the glass with my back kind of against his, and I looked over my shoulder, and he looked over his shoulder, and he goes, I'll never forget that. He was chilling. He was cool. He was probably miserable. I'm conflicted with zoos because I love animals and I love looking at animals. But man, taking animals out of their natural habitats and putting them in a fake habitat for humans to gawk at them. I don't know, but we're humans, we should be able to do those things. We're the best. We're the kings of the planet. Sorry, animals. We're better. For some reason. We have consciousness. Real smarts, us humans. Real smart things, apparently. So, if we want to take you from your natural habitat and force you to stay behind glass and fences, we will do that. Because we can. I don't know how I feel. As long as the animals are treated okay, right? I love the zoo. So, no real specific topic tonight. I got a few planned. Who knows when I'll get to them. I'd like to pump out at least a couple more of these before the end of the year. We'll see how that works out. Life's been just moving along. Just been working. Been on my grind, trying to save money. The American dream. I love it. Got the black magic here. Probably shouldn't be drinking it so late, but I'm no punk. I've done way worse things. I picked this up tonight, earlier at the grocery store, like an hour ago. I've been wanting to kind of try it. It's called Black and Bold. And yeah, I don't know. They're associated with the NBA for some reason. I've heard them advertised on podcasts. Apparently 5% of the proceeds go to non-profit organizations, youth organizations specifically. Who knows if that's true? Haven't done a deep dive, but hopefully they're not liars. But I wanted to try new coffee, so I picked up some of their Ethiopian. I think the region was Linmu. I don't know. I'd have to read the bag again. The bag was a little beat up. Had me not so psyched on it, but it was the only bag of whole bean they had of their Ethiopian. And I got to have my fresh grind. I buy beans pretty much all the time, especially recently. But the bag was a little beat up, so I was a little worried that it wasn't going to be good quality. But pretty good. It's my second cup. Pretty good. Nice light roast. Got a sweetness to it. Pretty decent. It's good. It's Ethiopian. Maybe not the best Ethiopian I've had. Taste maybe a tad stale. Maybe it's been sitting there a little while, but maybe that's just the the rough packaging. Maybe it's getting to me psychologically. But overall, good coffee. And I'll always say crappy coffee is better than no coffee. That's the truth. If all you got is Folgers in the house, pour me a cup. I'll choke it down. Oh. But yeah, not much else going on, really. Do I even want to talk about stand-up? I haven't done an open mic in like 2 months. Whatever. It's over. It's all over with. I might hit the stage again one day. Who knows? Still trying to find the time to make comedy video pilot thing. I don't know what to call it, really. It'd be nice if it was a series, but we'll see. With my friends, with my homies, the boys. Hopefully shoot that next month. I'm a great procrastinator, though, so we'll see. And not a whole lot else. Football started. Yes, my Texans are 0-1-1. Great start. Good old Texan start. Is what it is. The Chiefs are still good. Patrick Mahomes is still good. I know a lot of people are happy about that. A lot of people around me. I'm glad football's back, though, just in general. Last night, the Browns beat the Steelers. Man, who would have thought we'd live in a world where the Browns are better than the Steelers? Crazy. And they don't even need old Deshaun Watson, after they stole him from us, and now he's getting drugged through the mud and stomped on and kicked and suspended. Mostly suspended. But that Brissett or whatever Cleveland's got, he's getting the job done, though, isn't he? I kind of was thinking that maybe they should have held on to Baker Mayfield, really. The whole Deshaun Watson thing was just a debacle. Really didn't work out for him. Should have just kept him in Houston. We should have just rode him as long as we could. But, controversy. That hurts, too. You don't want the fans mad at you, I guess. I didn't care. From what I've heard, I don't know. I'm confused on the whole situation, I guess. I've heard this, I've heard that. At the end of the day, it sounds like, he was trying to get various massage therapists to do things to him, to do dirty things to him, to give certain massages, maybe. Not the first guy with money to do that, not the last. Not the only NFL player doing it, I'm sure. But, some, women came out about it, and now it's a thing. It's a thing. I'm not saying it's right. I'm just saying, why do we pick these individual things to just blow up and ruin someone's career over when there's probably, like I said, many different players doing similar things that is not being talked about or blown up, or women aren't coming out about it, But I could be very wrong. Maybe it's unusual. I don't know. I guess the NFL players usually have one massage therapist. But what if that one, what if you ask that one to do things to you, Does that make it any better? Does it make it better that it's, or make it worse that it's multiple women, multiple ladies? I guess that always sounds worse when there's numbers. When they're in numbers coming out against, yeah. We're moving slowly. How long have we been going? Only 13 minutes? Ooh, it's going to be a long one. That's okay. I'm tired. I'm old now, man. I usually am in bed by now. Get up, make some eggs and bakey. Get ready to hit the road. It's going to be a good weekend. My daughter's turning 4. Man, that's crazy. Her birthday's Tuesday. It's wild, man. It's wild. It's wild to see her as a 4-year-old now, because she's just like a little kid, and at first it's a little baby. I don't know. And you just spend time like thinking like, man, what is my little baby going to look like when she's 4, 5, 6, 7 years old? And, for the longest time, man, she did not have much hair. For the first 2 years, not much hair. And then just slowly started seeing these little curls, little blonde curls popping out, a little more. Watching some of the old podcasts that she's in. It's like, oh, man, she's a cute little chubby cheek baby with a little bit of curly hair on top. 2 little front teeth growing in. And there she is coughing. Just like a little kid. And, I don't know, it's, yeah, and then, now it's like, man, her hair is just just a full head of beautiful hair, and just tall, and she's tall, man. She's gonna be a tall girl. And just, and you start to, when they're a baby, you hear them trying to make noises, and you kind of get a hint of like their voice a little bit of what it might sound like, and then it just gets, more and more distinct as she's actually saying specific words. Oh man, it's crazy to hear her voice now and say words, communicate things. I'm able to talk to her and ask her questions, and she can ask me questions, and she's always had this, like, just little, like, cute little, I don't want to do it, cute little way of, like, saying everything. I don't know, maybe that's like every little kid, but she just cutes everything up so much, and she still does that. She's always done that since she first started talking, and she still does that. She talks like such, like, a little, like, cute little girly girl, and sometimes she still talks like a little baby, and that's a little bit annoying. She's not really a baby anymore. Oh, I still hold her when I can, though, even though when I don't want to, because she still asks me to pick her up all the time. But I just remember those days of first, like, walking around with her when she's just a tiny little thing, slapped her on my shoulder and just walking around with her, and everybody told me, like, you're gonna regret that, because she's gonna be wanting to be held all the time. And she still does. Now she just hangs down all the way to my legs. Man. It's a wonderful thing, though. It really is. It's fun watching her grow up. I just hate how fast it goes, yo. And everybody says it. Oh, they say it. Everybody says how fast it goes. And it goes so fast. Man. It's weird to think, like, I don't know, the stages of being a dad or being a parent, and just being an adult in general. But I just think back when I was a wee lad, and I used to look at, my mom and dad and grown-ups, and they all seemed like 40-year-olds pretty much, all of them, All grown-ups seemed like just like these old middle-aged people. And it's like, for most of my life, like, yeah, my parents were, in their early to mid 30s. But even that's like crazy, because I'm there, I'll be there soon. It's my last year of my 20s. And so it's like, I don't know. It's weird to think about that. At one point I knew my parents when they were in their 30s, and how old that seemed to me as a little kid. But now that's going to not seem that old, really. I don't know. Yeah, it just felt like my parents were in their 40s forever. I don't know. And then finally hit the 50 and the 60. And that's, of course, really crazy. But it's crazy to think my daughter has known me since my mid to late 20s, though. But I know, when she actually has, like, actual memories of me and is actually, like, older, to be aware of my age, I'm going to be in my 30s and /40s, and that's how she's always going to, like, remember me as, old dad, not this young, spry, 29-year-old dad. But I have plenty of video evidence of it. Be like, see, I was in my 20s at one point, I swear. I haven't always been a middle-aged man. It's weird to think about. I'll be a 30-year-old man next year. And that's it. That's really it, dude. Once you're in your 30s, it's like, no fun being in your 30s. It's depressing. It's really depressing. For me, at least. I don't know how other people handle it or look at it, I've just always been like that, though. Ever since I turned like 22, really, I was like, ugh, that's it, it's over. I hold on to childhood so much. Oh man, because I just still seems like, man, it was just like yesterday, man. I was just living in my parents' home with my brother and sisters, and was just waking up every day, just watching Tom and Jerry, and waiting until the new episode of Dragon Ball Z to come on, on Toonami or whatever. And that was just my life every day, going to play at my friend's house and playing video games and just really not a care in the world, man. That's really what it's like. Yes, it should be, I guess. I'm loving seeing my daughter go through that as well. But then it's like, man, there's no stopping that train. There's no stopping the aging process. It's like, man, I'm here. I'm about 30. I'm here. 20s are gone, man. 20s are gone, yo. It's crazy. It's absolutely wild. Let's light it up a little bit. Getting depressed. Wish, I don't know, I'm going back to the open mic thing. It's like, man, I really do need to get out there. I need to think of some solid jokes, man. I need to finally just crush it, dude. Like, I've never crushed. I've always just been like getting little chuckles here from that person over there or that person over there. I've never crushed the room, though, man. But I keep not going to open mic, so, can't go and try to kill it if I'm not going to open mic. Open mic's not even for that anyways. It's just practicing jokes and I don't want to talk about this, dude. It's so stupid. It's so stupid, like analyzing like stand-up and stuff. I really can't stand it. My jokes suck. Oh man, my jokes just suck, yo. Need to get out of this headspace. What else have I been doing? Playing video games. I'm playing GameCube. I'm playing Madden 06 on GameCube because, I don't know, nostalgia, I guess. I miss that Texans team. David Carr, Andre Johnson, Dominic Davis, man. Jason Babin before he went to the Eagles. Donta Robinson. I don't miss Chris Brown, the kicker. He was awful. He's still awful. He's awful in Madden. I'm like 9-2 though, I think. I'm crushing, dude. I'm crushing. It's so funny though because David Carr, I lead in the league in touchdowns, but I'm also like second though in interceptions. I throw so many interceptions, dude. I'll throw 4 touchdowns a game and 4 interceptions a game. That's like almost even. I've thrown like 20 interceptions this season and like 24 touchdowns. I suck, dude. I suck, and that's why I quit Madden. I just suck at it. Like, there was a point where I was kind of getting good. I was pretty good. I could hang, dude. But now, dude, I just don't know. I just force passes, and I just get picked off so much. That's my biggest problem. I just can't do it. I can't do it. I can't be playing a Madden game and get picked off like 6 times. It's just not fun. So I don't play Madden. But I've been thinking about it. I don't know. I've been getting into the football. Been getting into the football mood again, man. I don't know. I've been having fun playing it. I need to get back on the Elder Scrolls Online. I need to get back into that. I just paid for PlayStation Plus again. I let that go for like a couple months. Mostly because my card changed. And then also I just didn't feel like paying for it. It was different when automatic payments were coming out. I would always like forget every month, like, oh yeah, I forgot PlayStation Plus. Oh yeah, I forgot PlayStation Plus came out. But once my card changed, I was like, nah, I don't feel like paying that $24.99 every 3 months anymore. But then I just paid for 1 month, and I paid on the wrong profile because one of the profile has all the PlayStation Plus games, and I can't play them on this profile, including my Elder Scrolls Online profile. That was the other one. So I can't even play that. So that's that. I've been meaning to get back into some just classic Morrowind. I got all the cords now for my old Xbox, thanks to my brother. My brother bought me some new cords, I need to get back into the old Morrowind. I still got to do a video game podcast. I really want to do it with my friend, though. I'm thinking about just doing, I don't know, like a video game podcast episode of Deep Thoughts, and like not a video game podcast, but an episode of Deep Thoughts about video games, and one just about Morrowind by itself, because it kind of deserves its own. That's on my list of Deep Thoughts to get through. I finally did the coffee one. Working on, I think I know the next one. I still got to do drugs. Got to do one about drugs. Oh, drugs. But I want to do the video games episode with my friend. So I got to set that up. I still want to do guests. I just need to buy a new mic. I could do that. Almost any time. I've just been trying to save money, though. But that would be nice to do. I'd like to do maybe a separate podcast with my wife. I think I would do a separate one. I already know what to call it, too. Brown sugar, white sugar. I'm the white sugar. That'd be fun. I want to get my friend Scotty on here, talk about a little Freemasonry. He's a Mason. A Mason. Good stuff. Good, interesting conversation. Yeah, man. Got all these ideas, all these goals, and I just don't commit. Or I take months and years to do things. You know. It really sucks. I wish I was more of a go-getter. I wish I would just commit to things and follow through with things. You know how it be. Hope everyone else is doing well in life. Hope everyone's doing good. I really do. Times are crazy. Times are tough. They're maybe not as crazy. There's some crazy things that happen here or there. I wonder how people, I think people have calmed, with a new president. But I think they're also seeing a lot of the crappy side to that new president. It's very interesting. It's very fun sometimes to see the goofs and the gaffes and the inflation and the gas prices and hear people gripe about it. It's like, I didn't vote for him. But there's every excuse in the world, gas prices are high because of the Russia-Ukraine war. That's why there's inflation. It's not because of the gigantic, huge, billion dollar spending bills we're doing, not all these bills that are costing billions of dollars. No, that has nothing to do with it. Actually, I'm not 100% sure. I'm not an expert in inflation at all whatsoever. I had to ask my dad really about it. I did learn something about it in college that I kind of remember, but kind of don't. But I don't think another $50 billion to Ukraine is going to help our inflation. But and the same with the whole getting rid of people's college debt. It's cool. I have lots of college debt, but what are the consequences of that? There's not going to be, it's just a clean slate, no consequences, really? Really? Is that ever how our federal government has ever worked in the last at least several decades? They just wipe the slate clean, no more college debt, and there's no consequences. We're not going to get anything out of it. It's not going to make things worse economically. It's not going to fall back on anybody else. It's no strings attached. I just don't buy it. Yeah, it kind of frustrates me a little bit when people are just like, yes, clear my college debt. I have no questions about it. It's the same with the whole we could put everybody on a universal income, give everyone $1,000 extra a month. Yes, I want that. No questions. I have no questions about it. Just do it. Yes, I want that. Yes, there's nothing bad about that. There's nothing that could possibly be negative about that. Not at all. Yes, please. It's like, no, I have questions. I have a question. is there any strings attached? You know, could this negatively impact? You know, do I only get $1,000 a month? Do you get to control my whole income? Are we not going to let employers select how much to pay people anymore? Well, what's going on? What road are we heading down? Free healthcare for everybody. Is it good healthcare? Is it good healthcare? Will I get as good healthcare as rich people? Are we all gonna have the same healthcare for real? No strings attached? Our federal government? Sorry, I'm getting heated. I'm getting hot. Getting fiery. This coffee. Fired me up. You know, I have questions. I don't like when people are just like, you know, I read a Facebook post where people are like, everybody who's complaining about them getting rid of college debt, shut up. I'm just like, well, so you don't care about how it affects anybody else. It's so funny how people are like, oh, we need to help everybody. We need to help everybody in the world and everybody in our and all the people that are put down in this country and oppressed, and we need to help them all. You're gonna give me $1,000 a month? Move out of the way! Get out of my way! I don't care who that affects. Give it to me. Oh, you're gonna clear my college debt? I don't care if that affects somebody. Get out of my face. Just clear my college debt. Ooh, homeless person, get away from me. Get away from me. You're gross and homeless. I don't care. They're gonna clear my college debt. You know, it's like, well, who does that negatively affect? I want to know. Is anybody going to be negatively impacted by it before we do it? I want to know. You know, because then if it negatively affects other people, then no, I'll pay my debt off eventually, maybe, you know, but I'll try. I don't need the government to clear it then. I don't need your universal income. I don't need your free health care if it's going to negatively affect other people, other Americans. That's not how it's supposed to work. You know? Got to find a way to work for well, it's like you can't please everybody though. You know, you really can't. It's like, can you make something work for everybody? You know? But reading up a little bit on Marxism, and it's just kind of like, you know, and how it goes along with communism of pretty much clearing out the classes, clearing out the middle class specifically, but trying to, you know, punish the rich class and in favor of the poor class, but, you know, by putting everybody on like a level playing field, but all it ends up really doing is making everybody poor. You know, that's what you do. You reduce everybody onto the same bottom level. You know, and nobody has a chance to at least get up a little bit above them, you know, find a better job that makes more money, work harder for more money, you know. You eliminate that aspect. From what I've been reading, I'm not saying I'm totally correct on that, but, you know, I don't like that idea. I like the idea of like, well, I could work harder than that person and make more money than them, so that's what I'm going to do. I don't like the idea of, well, I work way harder than that person, but I'm forced to make the same amount of money as that person. You know, I get exactly the same house as that person, the exact same car, the exact same health care. If I want to pay more for better health care, then I would want that option. You know? You know, it's like I came up with this stupid analogy in my head. It was like, well, what if somebody gave you $100 on the street? Just walked up to you and gave you $100. Are you just going to take it? Or are you going to have some questions? Why are you giving me $100? Where'd you get this $100 from? Is this a real $100 bill? You know, you should ask questions. Because what if that person literally just stole that $100 from somebody else and given it to you? Is that fair? Wouldn't you want to give that back? Or would you just take it and not ask any questions and pocket it? You got to ask questions, folks. Especially when the government's telling you they're going to do something good for you. Ask them questions. Be skeptical. They don't have the greatest track record. And that goes for all countries. I mean, it's just something every civilization, every society goes through. It's completely normal. It's just we live in a day and age where things are so complicated and, gosh, dude, it hurts my head to even think about it. There's so much we just don't even know about. So many organizations and foundations and people, coming with the budgets and what to spend money on. And we got to a point where we're trillions of dollars in debt. Like, it's crazy. How do you get trillions of dollars in debt? Oh, you just don't stop spending. It's like, who's that good for? We're all pretty, a lot of us are comfy cozy right now, but we're almost $30 trillion in debt. Who's that good for? Is that going to have long lasting implications? It's going to have a negative impact on people eventually. It already is on some people. In some states. It doesn't sound like a lot of people in California are liking it anymore. California's a beautiful state. It's sad what's happening. That's why I sometimes take comfort in being in good old Missouri. I was saying people don't like California anymore.
And you don't like Calvin?
Not Calvin.
You don't like Dawson?
Yes, I like Dawson. These are boys at school that she goes to school with. Here, wait till I'm done, okay? All right. You okay?
Yeah, Gwen is happy.
Gwen is happy?
Yeah.
That's good. That's good. Yeah. All right, I'll talk to you in a little bit.
Okay. I want to talk too.
Well, just hold on.
Okay.
My little partner.
Okay.
We'll do a podcast one day. Well, I'll have to sit her down with a mic. And we'll chat. We'll see what's going on in the world of Amicia. But yeah, I don't know. But a lot of people, aren't getting too crazy. It's nice to see people like, complaining a little bit about this and that. And it's like, well, sorry for you. Because people got to see before they, realize the horrible mistake they made. People have to see. And I think there will be worse things that will happen. For sure. But it's hard to see where things are going, really. It's like, I'm in it, but I'm not in it as much as I used to. But I'm still trying to pay attention. I still am. And interesting things going on. The president gives some interesting speeches. Hillary Clinton's popping up again. Popping up doing the podcast. Doing a little show. A little talk show. It's like, oh my goodness. I don't know. There's so many dirtbags out there. It's like so many dirtbags in government. And that's the other thing, how things are so complicated and complex. It's just full of people who just lie and are probably blackmailed to lie. And it's just such a horrible web that's been weaved. For sure. America's one of the worst, but it's in tons of countries. Corruption is everywhere. And it's like, what do you do, What do you do when voting doesn't work anymore? Or, I'm not saying it doesn't, but, but what happens when it doesn't, and that happens in other countries, right? And then people storm government buildings. That's what they do. And they try to, topple their governments. I mean, that's what happens when people are pushed to that point. A lot of people don't want to see that. I don't want to see that. But how do you restore faith in selecting representatives to represent you and speak for you and fight for you? Right? What do you do? Shoot, man, I don't know. I'm still trying to believe in voting. We got important midterms coming up. I'll be there. I'll be voting. I voted in the last local election. I voted in the primary. Be voting in the midterms. 2022, man. I think I just think every year is going to be crazier and crazier. I just do. I'm waiting for John Durham to come through with some bombs. You know, you got this whole Mar-a-Lago documents thing. It's like, why, man? It's like, you would have thought when Trump was out that they would just be done with Trump, right? But it's just like, nah. Now they're raiding his house, his home. Like, man, that guy, and he's still out there just rallying for people. He's still holding these huge rallies, getting huge crowds of people. It's like, and then they're raiding his home. Are they scared? Are they scared of the orange man? It looks like it sometimes. I don't think they'll ever take him down. They've never taken him down for nothing. They've thrown so much crap at him and haven't taken him down for nothing. They couldn't remove him as president through impeachment. They couldn't arrest him for anything in office or out of office. They're trying hard, though. These documents. Oh, man. It's laughable. What a show we're watching. It's laughable. It's a good comedy. It's a dramedy. It's a dramedy, really. There's some drama, but there's a lot of comedy. I'm enjoying it. Chris Wray, the FBI, stepping down, I think. I've heard rumblings of it. Trash man. You never know who's in trash, man, you know? Gosh, it was so interesting to see all these people be put into place during Trump's administration and seeing where they are now, you know? When Bill Barr is still getting interviews, is still talking. Like, he's not even the attorney general anymore. He's nobody, right? It's like, why is he still talking so much? Why are people talking to him and interviewing him about everything? You know, what's that guy? What's his role in all this? Very interesting. Remember when they appointed somebody right before him and then he had to step down? Who was that guy? I can't remember. You got Trump's previous director of national intelligence, right? DNI. Was it Radcliffe? No, Grinnell. Richard Grinnell. First gay director of national intelligence. Appointed by Donald Trump. Man, he talks a lot. I'd love to see him run for something. President, you know, vice president, something. He says a lot of good stuff. He knows a lot of things. He knows a lot. Man. Got that Kash Patel guy. I need to really listen to him. I can't remember what Trump appointed him as. But they're all, you know, all these people that Trump appointed as certain things are all talking. They're talking a lot about a lot of different things. It's very interesting. They didn't just go away, you know. Dan Scavino. Oh, man. Good old Dan. Mike Pompeo. Savage. What a savage. I don't know. I hope I can trust these people. I was really a Trey Gowdy fan. I don't know what happened to him. Jimmy Jordan. Still representing. Mr. Josh Hawley. My boy. Representing the great state of Missouri. Love it. We'll see if Mr. Eric Schmidt will be in there. I think he will. I don't know how I feel about him. I don't know. This is good politics talk, good political stuff. I don't know how I feel about Eric Schmidt. There's a lot of things I agree with him on, and one or two things I don't. But it's tough, man. It's tough to pick people to represent you. It's tough to pick people to send to the House and to the Senate. Man. Tough to pick your mayors, your governor. Mr. Mike Parsons is still in there. I thought it was going to be his last year, but maybe not. Maybe he's done in 2024. I don't know. Because there's nobody running for his spot right now. I don't know. Gavin Newsom wants to be president? Like, what? And Ron DeSantis. I don't think I trust the guy. And that's how crazy all this has gotten, you know? It's like when somebody's like going, you know, when he's saying all the right things to the conservatives and the Republican people, you know, and the people on the quote-unquote right, you know, just saying all the right things, you know, in almost a populist way, you know, fighting the whole mask thing, fighting the whole, like, weird stuff in schools thing, you know. He's got so many people on his side with that. Like I said, the conservatives, the parents, just in general, parents, the Latino community apparently really likes him. He's got it going for him. And I don't trust him. Like, what is with that? I don't know, man. Sometimes I feel like people play that side so hard so they can get in and then just turn on you. And then all of a sudden turn into a puppet and let the same old string start pulling them. Could be an agent for the left. I don't know. I don't even know what that means, but I just don't know if I trust the guy. I want to, but man, he's playing that side so hard. He's going so hard into it. But you could say Josh Hawley does too, but I don't know, man. Something about Josh Hawley I just love. That dude's a real Jimmy Stewart type. That dude's a real Mr. Smith Goes to Washington. That's a guy who I feel like represents me. I don't know, man. I like him. I don't know, dude. But people, a lot of people say the right things. And then they don't put the actions into it. I'm a big fan of Sam. I don't need to get into like real local stuff, do I? Mr. Sam Graves. Okay, I'll stop there. I don't need to totally give out everything about my location. Obviously, I'm in Missouri. Obviously. Oh boy, I've been reading this book for like the last 2 years, How the Nation Was Won, about the foundation laid for the United States of America. And real good, real interesting stuff that I'm learning. John Winthrop was a savage. Increase Mather was a savage. Puritans get a bad rap. Everybody gets a bad rap. You always got this group pointing at that group, who's pointing at that group, who's pointing at that group. Everybody gets blamed. Pass the buck. But it's like they did some good things. Increase in Cotton Mather. Puritans did some good things. They weren't both governors, were they? One of them, Cotton Mather, I think, ended up being governor of New Jersey, maybe, for a little bit. And those early governors, man, they really set things up. They really set a lot up. John Winthrop and his son, John Winthrop Jr., laid the foundations for people like George Washington and Ben Franklin and Thomas Jefferson to come in like almost 100 years later and finish the job. Pretty amazing. Amazing how they tried to play this, political game with the British Empire and to try to make the colonies independent, how it kept getting squashed down, and the whole Native American thing in the mix. I don't know 100% what to believe. I try to look at both sides always, but it's not always as it seems. It's real easy, I don't want to sound really stupid here, but I always sound stupid. So, the whole Native American thing is not as black and white as some people make it seem like it was, Obviously, the evidence of Native Americans just being such a small population in this country now, that's evidence that something bad happened for sure. But it wasn't just all, my ancestors' fault 100%. There was a lot going on. I mean, there's a lot of Indians fighting, being paid by the French, being paid by the British to go in and ravage the colonists and stuff like that. Innocent colonies who weren't picking fights with the Native Americans whatsoever. They really were kind of pitted against each other. Whereas there was also a lot of getting along with Native Americans, A lot of it, we could have lived in this whole country peacefully, It was really everybody against the British, like really. And a little bit of the French. Heck, the French could have stayed, man, I don't know what the big deal was, what that was about. They really didn't want America, or the colonists, to expand throughout America. What I'm kind of reading in this book. The British didn't actually really want the war to end with the French. That's why they assassinated Queen Anne, possibly, who was going to end that war. With the advice from people like Jonathan Swift, the guy who wrote Gulliver's Travels, had a lot to do with it. A lot to do with the colonists banding together and governors who wanted to expand the United States and get away from the British. He had a lot to do with that. Interesting, very fascinating stuff, man. Not all those people, founding fathers, whatever you want to call them, were great, perfect people, but everything happens for a reason. And I can't help but think it was ultimately for the greater good. Like, what was the other path, besides the people immigrating to the United States? Obviously it started with, several different people. You got the French up top, and you got the Spanish coming through the bottom, the United States, as we know it today, North America was bound to be invaded, and whoever was going to get a hold of it was going to ravage it, was going to, it was the whole, the holy grail of land. North America has so much, with gold and minerals and oil and just so much, and just a ginormous piece of land, and it has everything. You go from the East Coast, which is like, beautiful and woodsy, and to the middle, which is, you got your prairies and your fields, plenty of land to grow crops on and stuff. And you get out to the mountains, and then you get to the West Coast with the beaches and the palm trees, and it's literally got everything. And it's not the only country to have, or continent to have, everything like that. But still, man, it's like, I don't know. There's important things and beauty in every country and continent in the world, I believe, and useful things for people to live. And I don't know, man. The land has bred the type of people that have lived everywhere. The land of Asia has made Asian people who they are. The land of Russia has made them who they are, and Africa, their land has made them who they are. In Europe, the same thing has made their people how they are through their environment. And, everything's about conquering land, and, a lot of it for, ill intentions, but, something about, North America, it was people, all these different people fighting for it. And the people that ended up winning were the people kind of immigrating and trying to get away from their bad situations, looking for better lives. That's all this, land has ever really been, since everything else was, conquered and taken over and gone through their trials and tribulations. It sucks that there was already people here with their way of life, but it ended up being the last hope for people to escape their oppression and the horrible things that they were, have had to go through because of so many just bad leaders and emperors and pharaohs and kings and queens who have just constantly abused their people, because that's just how humans have grown. There's always people who think people should be free, and there's people who think people should be enslaved, or be peasants and, be beneath them, and a lot of those people tend to take it, get to the top, because good people don't fight for the top. Good people who want freedom for all people don't fight to be the king usually, or at least they don't make it very far. So it's like the North America was that last piece of land, and it still represents that to this day as something that people can escape to find a better life and be free, And that's one thing that these founding fathers and John Winthrops and some of the Puritans and early patriots thought about. They did think about that. Like, this could be the last piece of land where people could be free from tyranny. And then it turned into tyranny, but happened over time. It's still a piece of land people are fighting for, like, to this day, Everybody wants a piece of the United States. It is the holy grail of land for some reason. Man, I'm so lucky to be born here, dude. But it was a trickle down effect though. When the people finally beat back the tyranny, the oppressors, the British Empire, and won, it stood for everybody, and it made a shockwave throughout the whole rest of the world. Just one constitution, and then everybody started writing constitutions, and no, we all should be free. Man, it's crazy. It's crazy that effect that it had on the whole rest of the world, man. It changed everything. Changed everything, dude. And now we see some quote-unquote form of democracy pretty much everywhere. And then communism came. And there's some people that actually think that's a good idea. But it's always implemented by bad people. Always. Throughout history, most evil people think communism is good. Rich people think communism is good. That doesn't tell you, everything about it that you need to know. They always sell it as this thing as like liberating you from your horrible life. Let the government control everything. They will help you. They'll save you. It's always coming from the rich and wealthy and powerful. So, that should tell you everything. When Bernie Sanders is telling you that socialism is good, he's a really rich, wealthy old guy. Of course, he thinks it's good. He wants to control you. He wants to keep you at the bottom so he can stay at the top. Man. The dude's a communist. That's all I'm saying. We got a lot of communists in our government. A lot of Marxists. A lot of Marxism going on. Almost at an hour here. It eventually got going here. Eventually got a moving. Well, I don't know what I'm going to do with the rest of my night, though. It's 10:39 p.m. Ooh, I could go to bed, watch a movie or something. I don't know. A little bit hungry. Wish I had some pizza, dude. Oh, it's too late for pizza, and I've spent so much money, dude. I've already spent so much on my check, and I just got paid yesterday. Freaking had to buy a new tire for my car, dude. It was like $180, man. It's like, ugh. Dude, for one tire, man. It's outrageous. They are 20 inches, but still. All right, I've gone on long enough. Better see what Amicia's doing. It's late. We should be sleeping. And this was another episode of Deep Thoughts. Listen, watch. Don't listen, don't watch. It's all good. It's all good. I'm going to keep at it. I'm going to keep at this. And I'm going to try to keep at life. And I hope you all do the same. Stay safe. Stay strong. Enjoy the show. Vote. Try to make a difference. Or don't. It's whatever. This has been another episode of Deep Thoughts. Think freely, think often, and I'll see you guys next time.